So, explaining credit in the United States of America. Okay. Just heard someone talking about credit in the United States of America and it says everybody buys things on credit in America. Okay, so all right, so let's get down to the bottom of this credit thing because some people outside of the United States don't understand what credit actually means in America and what is it. Okay, so for instance, I just went to the store and bought my son something that would have stuff that would have ended up like $300-400, right? A bunch of clothes, right? However, comma, they said, would you like to apply for this credit line and you'll save $200? Of course I'm going to do that, right? But wait, I applied, got approved, saved $200. What do then? You turn around and pay it in cash. Okay? So, yes, I have a credit card now, right? A store credit card. However, comma, I just saved $200. And I'm not going to pay any interest. Why? Because I double back and I pay it in cash. See how that works? So, even though I had the $400 in cash, I saved it. Okay? And I'm not going to pay any interest because I'm going to turn around and pay the thing off. And it's going to be all paid off. That's how it kind of works. That's one type of credit thing. So when you see somebody with credit cards, it doesn't mean they're actually using them. They're using them to save money. So it's like a catch to it. If you know how to use them, I know how to use them. Okay. I don't have balances. Okay. Just turn around and pay it. Okay. Turn around and pay it in cash. But it saves me money. Okay. Now, as far as do people pay for their cars with credit? Okay, a credit line or whatever. Okay, so here's the thing. Some people, not everybody needs, some people can pay for a car right out. Okay, depending on the price of the car. There are cars over here that cost different prices. All right, so you got a car you can pay for $2,000. Okay, you can buy a 2008 Accord or something for like $2,000. All right, all right, and then you can go buy one on the lot. Now, some people have the money to go and buy cash. Okay, but nobody wants to do that. There are reasons. Okay, um, some people will say I'll pay it off in 6 months. Then some people will pay it off in 4 years, 4 or 5 years. Okay, some people opt to do that. Each each way has its benefits. It all depends on your circumstances. Okay, so for instance, this really wealthy man, he pays with everything. You'll see him walking around with a credit card, but he doesn't need it. I know a guy. Um, he buys everything on credit card. One credit card, right? And then before the 30 days is up, he pays everything off because he doesn't like walking around with cash. Now credit score, okay? And some people can do that with a house. Like some people can buy a house, they'll be like, okay, I'll put this much on it. I'm gonna pay this off in 2 years instead of 30. But they'll have it because you can pay things off early. Okay, so some people use it as a safety net just in case because everything over here is really expensive in the United States of America. But then other people use it because they actually need it. Then some people just don't need it at all. I knew somebody that walked on the lot, got the car, and left. Depend and sometimes if you pay for something with a certain amount of cash, the government looks in, and people don't want that, so they just like, okay, let me have that, let me make the payments, and I pay this off quickly instead of boom, here go the cash, because the government be like, ding ding ding, it'll ding you. Then there's something called like a credit score. Okay, your credit score. If your credit score is above 700, 750, something like that, if it's high, you get perks. Like for instance, when you go to buy a car, you won't have to put anything down on it. Like my first brand new car, I didn't have to put any money down. All I had to show them was that I made money. Okay, I didn't even have paychecks. I didn't because I own my own business, so um, I didn't have any paychecks. They just had to look at my taxes from the last year. They were like, okay, here are the keys, and that's it. You drive off. No payments, no nothing, and you can pay the car off whenever you want. You don't have to. I didn't put no down payment. So the higher your credit score is, you even when you're buying a house, if your credit score is super super duper high, your credit score is like 750 or 800. Child, what down payment on the house? You just got to get approved, and then you have a mortgage, right? Boom, all your money. You ain't got to put a down payment on the house. Not if you don't want to. You could have all the money in the bank. You don't have to if you don't want to. If you don't want to, and then you can pay it off in 5 years. You can pay it off in 10 years. You can pay it off in 30 years. It all depends on what you want to do. When it comes to credit, these are options for some people, and then some people actually need the credit. Like the credit helps you to get things without having to wait. So yeah, that's all. That's all credit is. It's not when you see somebody using a debit card or whatever, it's not actually a credit card. Like a lot of people walk around with debit, but it's the money in the bank. It's just a debit card. Um, Credit, if you see people using credit card, a lot of times they pay it off. Most people have an emergency, one emergency credit card, one emergency for big emergencies, for big emergencies, and you just don't want to touch your cash. Why? Because cash is cash. You know what I'm saying? Like when you live in America, it's a little bit different. So little things go a little bit differently. And so you wanna understand the system and take advantage of the system. There was this wealthy dude one time, right? He was like, you know how to use your credit card? And I was like, yeah, I know how to use my credit card. My mama taught me something. Make sure you pay it off. Make sure you turn around and pay it off. He said I do it all the time. If you don't want to pay interest, get the savings that you get the coupons, get all the perks and bonuses and everything, just turn around and pay it off. And that's what I've been doing ever since. Like I shut down one of the credit cards I had, and then they said, "Would you like to open it again because you'll save $200?" And I was like, "Shh, saving $200, man." I said, hey, "Go ahead." So I'm gonna pay it off. I'm gonna turn around and pay it off. I did that the other week in another store. I paid right at the register after I saved the money. So when you think about credit, you got to think about it's just an option if you don't have the cash. And if you do have the cash, some people still use it depending on what. So using credit doesn't mean that someone's broke or rich. It's not a measure of how much money you have. Having a credit card is not a measure of how much money you have or don't have. It doesn't say what you can and can't afford. Um, Sometimes it just gives you perks and bonuses. That's all. Perks and bonuses. And then if you need something in an emergency, boom, you got it. That's all.